Hello friends, welcome back. Today's discussion is on our eternal potential. And I'm going to cover three steps, a little bit of history, a little bit about where we are now, and the most important thing, where we are going after we die, or our life that continues on after we let go of this body. I'm going to be using words, if you're new to the channel, you may not be familiar with, but I have a dictionary that you can download, and I have a link to that below. I also have many videos discussing a number of these terms and ideas, and I'll link to those videos below as well. So today we're going to start with sort of a recap of the idea that we have a divine blueprint that has been given to us, and that our consciousness is attached to the blueprint. Our consciousness is not attached to any body at all. Our addiction to bodies keeps us trapped in what is called, for the Eastern terminology, the astral worlds, or the astral plane. In Western terminology, the Catholics call purgatory. And this includes Christians and anyone else, according to how they manifest their belief systems, depends on where you go after you transition from this body. So, to backtrack quickly, our divine blueprint, go back even more, our soul is a container of consciousness. It's just a container of consciousness. How soul grows is by creating what I term avatars. Avatars are given a divine blueprint created by the paradise sons and daughters, a very high, you might say, God level. These blueprints is where the soul attaches a part of its consciousness to the blueprint. This blueprint is multidimensional, meaning that in our created reality, we have many densities or many frequencies of consciousness, and I often term it as like a computer game where you can go up the levels or you can descend down the levels, but these are levels of awareness and consciousness. You can go very high up to 9th level, which is extremely advanced beings. We are down in the 3rd. We had a divine blueprint that was given to us. And this divine blueprint, eons ago, with many battles, which I've talked about, was intercepted around 6th density. And so the beings that were at that level took these avatar blueprints and demoted them down a couple of frequencies or densities to where we are now, because we are in a corrupt blueprint. And what that means is that there's an astral world that is attached to our reality here. This astral world was created by our emotions, our addictions, and our belief systems. And so when you die, most people pass over into these astral worlds because they are, number one, addicted to their body. They have belief systems that addict them or attach them to their family lineage, because I've also explained in other videos that there is no reincarnation. Everything that we have are patterns from our family lineage. And so, or how we've been trained and habitualized in our world around us once we're born. So we have habitual patterns that keep creating the astral purgatory worlds. These habitual patterns are our addictions, our fears, our anxieties. They all live in this astral purgatory world. Also, our family lineage lives in those purgatory worlds, because we take a lot of our family patterns that we still are acting out through our whole life, and we take them with us. So here we are, where most of humanity is not aware they are multidimensional beings. Most of humanity isn't even tapped into higher consciousness. And for instance, some religions teach that when you die, you go to nothing. And so, that's not accurate. You don't go to nothing. There is a blueprint. That blueprint has your consciousness. When you drop a body, that blueprint now, depending on your vibratory understanding of reality when you die, your blueprint will create a new body for you in the afterlife, in a new body, in a new world, in a new reality. But it depends on where you are when you pass over. So if you are unaware of higher consciousness, you spend your entire life polarized with all the world's problems and their religions and their politics, and you're just polarized, or you're addicted to your body, you're addicted to sex, you're addicted to the family, or you have this idea that you're going to be with your family when you pass over, and that's true. Not your married half, your lineage. When you die, a lot of people just go right on over, and their dead parents or their dead grandparents meet them, and they go live in an astral world just like this. Pretty much looks just like what you live in now. But this is the past and the present. What I am focused on in my teachings is that this age of humanity is probably not going to get it. These are teachings for future generations, more or less, but there are some who are getting these teachings now. We are multidimensional beings. Bodies are abundant in the universe. Don't be addicted to your body, and don't be addicted to this reality. Clean up your family lineage. Let go of your family, the negative parts of your family lineage. We all have good traits from our family lineage, but we want to clean up the negative of our family lineage. And we want to learn to master our emotions and master our thoughts, because emotions and thoughts are what's creating the astral world. And I have a lot of videos on astral travel, lucid dreaming, and all of this. Because when you dream, your dreams are your guidance system. And most of the time when people are dreaming, they're dreaming in the astral worlds. In other words, the lower worlds. These lower worlds hold dark forces. They hold they hold avatars, soul avatars, most of humanity that are in the astral worlds, living out a life similar to they live now. And even if you believe in a heaven, like the Christians do, and I believe in Jesus, I actually have a long video on Jesus' divine lineage. And I would stop right here and recommend that that a lot of Christians, you can't just join a church and be baptized by water. That does not get you out of the astral world, because your belief system is you're attached to your body. You think it's going to resurrect, so you're going to stay in the astral worlds, attached to this earth, waiting around. Even though you don't reincarnate, you stay in the astral worlds because you believe that you're supposed to come back to earth in your resurrected body. That keeps you trapped here. That is a false belief system. Drop the body idea. Bodies are addictions. Stay away from being addicted to bodies. They're not addictions primarily. They were created as a divine way to experience the worlds of the Creator. But in our fallen blueprint, the body has become a huge addiction, and that's the astral worlds that keep us trapped here. So for Christians, they think they're going to pass over to a heaven, but a lot of times what they're also thinking is they're looking for their relatives, so they go straight with their relatives. Or they have a lot of family lineage they never cleaned up. They have a lot of polarizations. They have a lot of stuff they never dealt with because they didn't have a baptism by fire. And in order to get into Jesus' divine lineage, I have a video on this, you have to be baptized by fire. Think of St. Francis, St. Catherine, St. Teresa. Okay, so if you get that, and if you actually are a Christian who has been baptized by fire, you can move through the purgatory astral realm and begin to move up to these higher dimensions, which I've talked about on many videos. 4th is 5th and 6th and higher. So now if you're not into the Christian religion idea, but you actually are a little higher evolved, and I don't mean to say that Christians aren't, but what I mean by that is that you have even the saints in Christianity had higher consciousness. They had awakened to higher consciousness. So this is what I'm saying about the masses of Christianity and the awakened Christians are two different things. So let's just talk about awakened humanity. Awakened humanity, disciple level and up, see my 7-level video. Disciple level and up, they are beginning to understand that their dreams are premonitions. Their dreams tell them what's going to be happening. Their dreams help them out with their issues on earth. And their dreams can tell them where they're going in the afterlife. And I've talked about this in several videos. Our dreams are our guidance system, and when you awaken to multidimensional consciousness, spirit, your higher consciousness now is ready to take you into higher frequencies of light. We're talking fourth, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, and up into the higher heavens at some point when you evolve that way. So once you have awakened to your higher consciousness, now in your dream plane, you are moved out of the astral emotional tanglement world, and you are starting to go into higher worlds of light. And this is also for Jesus awakened Christians. Jesus begins to move you through his divine lineage, and I have a video on divine lineage, so I'm not talking too much about it here. But if you are awake, no matter what religion or no religion, whatever you are, if you are awake to higher frequencies, you will begin to get telepathic messages, visions, precognition. You will begin to have high intuition, and you will be lucid in your dreams, although a lot of people are lucid in their dreams and they're trapped in the astral. So being lucid does not mean you're awake, friends. Being lucid only means you're playing around in the astral worlds with your own little games. Stop it. Lucidity is designed for guidance, and guidance is very important. Keep your journal. So you will begin to, as we move into from here to where we're going, once you begin to attach, to connect to your higher consciousness, you will be taken to other kingdoms, to other frequencies of consciousness, other frequencies of reality, and they will begin, your guardian angels, and some I would call extraterrestrials, but we're talking good extraterrestrials, will be able to show you all of God's kingdom, you might say. There are many worlds and many realities where we can go, and you will be tested as to where your frequency of consciousness, what does that mean when I say that? That means where your heart is. When your heart is awakened by the fire, the sacred fire, your heart is awake to love. And where's your mind? Your mind has become still. A noisy mind stays in the astral world. So where is it when you blend with higher consciousness so that you can go out of the trapped lower worlds and actually enter what you might call heaven or more divine kingdoms? This is what it is. Your heart is awakened to love. Your mind is still. Remember this. Your heart is awakened to love, not manipulation, not sacrificing yourself for everyone else. That is not awakened love. Awakened love is a divine compassion which does not become the seduction of attaching to emotions and all of what other people are doing. When you take your emotions and you plug into somebody else's problems, or you get involved in that, you are not in divine love. Divine love, being unconditional, doesn't mean sacrificing and doing for others, because their emotional patterns are demanding it. No. One thing awakened love is a sovereign being, and that is what a soul avatar is who is awakened. He is a sovereign being. He knows who he is, and he knows how to properly relate to the world around him, be in the world, not of the world. And he knows that all these things that are going on are people's lineages and emotional patterns which are fallen, and he doesn't engage in them and become seduced by them. Can he help? Yes. You can help from a position of divine detachment. Now that's the awakened love. The mind, though, must be still. So you must learn to meditate. No matter what belief system it is, you must learn to sit down and say, if you don't want to use the word meditate, be quiet and still the mind. I have meditation, I have videos on that. Still your mind, because monkey mind interferes with divine mind, God's mind. So still your mind. A still mind, an awakened heart connects to higher consciousness. so that when you pass over, you will know where you're going. All the great saints and yogis in the world knew the timing of their death, and they also had a knowing where they were going. Not a fantasy idea where they're going. They knew where they were going because they had been traveling there in an out-of-body experience. Some call it near death, but really that's only a brief moment. I'm talking a true master of out-of-body experiences, traveling to higher worlds at night and coming and going, and knows the kingdom they're going to because they have been anchored there before they die. And I've had videos on that also, about how there's a transition, a bilocation between this reality and that reality. Before you die, you know where you're going. So that is what I'm wanting to tell us when I use the idea today about how we have this eternal potential. So coming back to that topic, the eternal potential is we are multidimensional. We are immortal. We are not attached to bodies. Bodies are abundant in the universe. We can, our blueprint, our divine blueprint can manifest bodies anywhere, in any dimension, at any time. Bodies are easy for our consciousness to create. It's not bodies, friends, it's consciousness. And that is the key issue that I want to tell you right now with this video. Your eternal potential lies in your consciousness. So I will see you again soon. Thank you.